Want to change your life and don't want to go a whole merry-go-round? Listen on, guys, for this unusual Helsinki theory.
Hello there. This is Ike, Caroline's robot butler. She thinks my voice is better than hers. So let me guide you on this Helsinki bus ride. Listen on. In June of 2004, Arno Rafael Minkkinen stepped up to the microphone at the New England School of Photography to deliver the commencement speech. As he looked out at the graduating students, Minkkinen shared a simple theory that made all the difference between success and failure. He called it the Helsinki Bus Station Theory. Minkkinen was born in Helsinki, Finland. In the center of the city there was a large bus station. He began his speech by describing it to the students. Some 24 platforms are laid out in a square at the heart of the city, Minkkinen said. At the head of each platform is a sign posting the numbers of the buses that leave from that particular platform. Each bus takes the same route out of the city for at least a kilometer, stopping at bus stop intervals along the way. He continued, now let's say, again metaphorically speaking, that each bus stop represents 1 year in the life of a photographer. Meaning the third bus stop would represent 3 years of photographic activity. Maybe you spent 3 years specializing in one form of professional photography. Then one day, you bring your photography collection to a famous gallery. What you see at the photo gallery makes you ponder. Shocked, you realize that what you have been doing for 3 years, others have already done. So you hop off the bus, grab a cab, because life is short, and head straight back to the bus station looking for another bus. This time, he said, you're going to take snapshots of people lying on the beach from a cherry picker crane. You spend 3 years at it and $3,000 and produce a series of works that get the same comment. Have you seen the work of Richard Misrick? Have you seen the work of Sally Mann? So once again, you get off the bus, grab the cab, race back and find a new bus. This goes on all your creative life, always showing new work, always being compared to others. Stay on the bus. Because if you do, in time you will begin to see a difference. The buses that move out of Helsinki stay on the same line, but only for a while. Maybe a kilometer or two. Then they begin to separate, each number heading off to its own unique destination. Bus 33 suddenly goes north. Bus 19 southwest. For a time maybe 21 and 71 dovetail one another, but soon they split off as well. It's the separation that makes all the difference, Minkkinen said. Once you start to see that difference in your work from the ones you admire, that's why you chose that bus after all. It's time to look for your breakthrough. Suddenly your work starts to get noticed. Now you are working more on your own, making more of the difference between your work and what influenced it. Your vision takes off. Over time, it won't be long before the critics become very intrigued, not just by what differentiates your work from others, but by what you did when you first got started. You reflect on the journey. The vintage prints made 20 years ago are suddenly re-evaluated and then start selling at a premium. At the end of the line, where the bus comes to rest and the driver can get out for a smoke or, better yet, a cup of coffee, that's when the work is done. It could be the end of your career or the end of your life. Your past work is all there in front of you. The early, so-called, imitations, the breakthroughs, the peaks and valleys, the closing masterpieces, all with the stamp of your unique vision. Why? Because you stayed on the bus. Therefore, does consistency lead to success? Mastery requires consistency. That includes ideas like putting in your repetitions, your reworks, improving your average speed, and falling in love with boredom. These ideas are critical, but the Helsinki Bus Station Theory helps to clarify and distinguish some important details that often get overlooked. The question is, does consistency lead to success? Consistency equals success? Not at all. Most of what we hear in class is forgotten shortly thereafter. Given all of this writing, do you have the skills to write the next great novel? Probably not. Many folks have been doing the same thing for years or even decades. Are they built like elite athletes? Do they possess elite-level strength? Unlikely. The key feature of the Helsinki Bus Station Theory is that it urges you to not simply do more work, but to do more rework. Average college students learn ideas once. The best college students relearn ideas over and over. Average employees write emails once. Elite novelists rewrite chapters again and again. Average fitness enthusiasts mindlessly follow the same workout routine each week. The best athletes actively critique each repetition and constantly improve their technique. It is the revision that matters most. In the bus metaphor, the photographers who get off the bus after a few stops and then hop on a new bus line are still working the whole time. They are putting in their 10,000 hours. What they are not doing, however, is rework. They are so busy jumping from line to line in the hopes of finding a route nobody has ridden before that they don't invest the time to rework their old ideas. And this, as the Helsinki Bus Station Theory clarifies, is exactly the key to producing something unique and wonderful. By staying on the bus, you give yourself time to rework and revise until you produce something unique and great. It's only by staying on board that mastery reveals itself. Show up enough times to get the average ideas out of the way, and every now and then genius will reveal itself. Malcolm Gladwell's book Outliers popularized the 10,000-hour rule, which states that it takes 10,000 hours of deliberate practice to become an expert in a particular field. Entrepreneur Naval Ravikant adds, it is not the 10,000 hours that creates outliers. It's 10,000 iterations. I think what we often miss is that deliberate practice which is called revision. If you're not paying close enough attention to revise, then you're not being deliberate. A lot of people put in 10,000 hours. Very few people put in 10,000 hours of revision. The only way to do that is to stay on the bus. Which bus will you ride? We are all creators in one way or the other. The manager who fights for a new initiative. The accountant who creates a faster process for managing tax returns. The nurse who thinks up a better way of managing her patients. And of course, the writer. The designer. The painter. And the musicians laboring to share their work out to the world. They are all creators. Any creator who tries to move society forward will experience failure. Too often, we respond to these failures by calling a cab and getting on another bus line. Maybe the ride will be smoother over there. Instead, We should stay on the bus and commit to the hard work of revisiting, rethinking, and revising our ideas. In order to do that, however, you must make the toughest decision of all. Which bus will you ride? What story do you want to tell with your life? What craft do you want to spend your years revising and improving? How do you know the right answer? You don't. Nobody knows which is the best bus, but if you want to fulfill your potential, you must choose one. This is one of the central tensions of life. It's your choice, but you must choose. And once you do, stay on the bus. Don't get distracted or switch bus, or routes, for that matter. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe.